to do in this video is show you how to create an array list. An array list is basically an array that resizes itself, and it could hold objects as well as data types, primitive data types. And like for arrays, you don't have to specify the for arrays you have to specify the size of it by doing like a little bracket and then putting the number of elements you want in the array. In an array list, you don't need to do that because it resizes itself as it goes along. So as you add on, say you have two elements in the array list, and then you add one more, it resizes itself to three elements. And yeah, it's just really simple and it's very useful. It can hold objects. Objects are basically other classes classes you've written, like for example the keyboard reader class. um, we create an object using that class, so we use all the coding that's in keyboard reader and all of its functions, and we create an object using that. So we can store objects in the array list, so we can have like multiple keyboard readers. I don't know why you would want to do that, but you could if you wanted to, I guess. And yeah, and objects are used in object-oriented programming, and that's going to be in the next video. So yeah, and I've already written the program here, and the pseudocode that I've created is we're going to have the user select what they would like to do from a menu. So from a menu, and then for the calculations, we're going to do the corresponding calculations uh, to the user selection, and then we're going to display the array list after the calculation. So all we want to do here is first of all create a keyboard reader, since we need user input, and then we're going to create an array list. An array list, all you have to do is type in array with a capital A and then capital L IST, so array list. And then to specify a data type, so if you just say you just write here array list names equals to new array list, this will create an array list of objects, which is what you can use to store objects you create. And to specify the data type that you want to use, you want to do a little less than sign, and then all you're going to do is just type in your data type. So we're going to be using strings. You could type in int, and so we're going to be using strings, and then you name it. So I named this array list names, and then just have it's basically the same way you create a keyboard reader or an array. It's very similar, and you just do new array list, and then you specify the data type again, and parentheses semicolon, and then there's a variable that will hold the user's choice from the menu. So right here I have the code right there. And then string add name is what we're going to have the user is what's going to hold the user's name, whatever name they want like to add. And then the string remove is the variable that'll hold the string they would like to remove from the array list. And then repeat is basically to repeat the loop, and we're going to have the user choose whether they would like to do that. So the first thing I've done here is just had the user, I printed out the menu, and I'm going to have the user choose from the menu. And we have add names, remove a name, and view names. So I use a do while loop because we do want to display this first on the first go, and then we want to check the condition. So in the do while loop, all I did was create a switch statement that has the condition or the parameter of choice, whatever number they choose. And then for the first case, I'm going to have the user enter the name they would like to add to the list, and then add it using names.add, and then in the parentheses here, you're just going to put the string you would like to add. So in our case, the string that we're adding is add name because that's what the user wants to add. So we just put the variable there. You, to that what it does is that as you go and add names to it, it'll just put the name you add to the list at the bottom of the list. So add name, since we only have one name or no names right now, this will be the first name, and then if we add another name, uh, it'll be uh, in the second index. Uh, and you can, to specify where you want to add, all you have to do is just specify the element. So if you want to add it to the beginning of the list, you just put 0 comma and then the string, because 0 is the first element in an array. Or you can do 1 comma whatever. And then we also want to print out the array after the user adds the name. So all we're going to do is just system.out.println. And in an array, you wouldn't be able to just put in the name of the array, but in an array list, all you have to do is put the name of the array list in, because it uses a toString method, and we'll learn about that in the object-oriented programming. Tostring basically just prints out the information. So the name of our array list is names. So all we have to put is names, and it'll print out the array list. And I'm just going to copy that, paste it, because we want to display it in each case. For the second one, we're just going to put remove equals to read.readline, enter name to be removed. And to remove, all you have to do is just put in what you would like to remove. So names.remove. We want to remove the string that the user enters, so just put remove. Or you can also just put the element you would like to remove. So if you want to remove the first element in the string, just put 0. If you want to remove the second element, you just put 1, because it goes 0, 1, 2, 3, and so on. But in our case, the user probably wouldn't know what index he or she would like to remove, so we're just going to put remove in there, and just print out or remove whatever the user wants to remove, and then print out the array. And then in the last case, we're just going to print out the array, and if the user enters any numbers beside 1, 2, or 3, we want to print out system.out. We want to print out invalid input using system.out.println. And then we're going to ask the user to repeat if they would like to repeat, and if they enter 1, it'll keep on going. It'll keep on doing this, running this code in this loop, as long as repeat does not equal to 2, which is no. So right there, no. Let me get that. No. And there are several other useful methods that I haven't used in this program, and I just would like to tell you those. So the first method, or the first thing that you can use, the first method, I guess, is names.get. And this method just allows you to access the a element in the string. And so basically you can put the index of the element, or you can just put you put the index of the element. So index of element, index of element. And then another method you can use is to get the length of the list. So names.size gives you the length of the list. Just like in an array, you put name of array dot length, and in that you don't use parentheses, because for parentheses it would have to be a string. So if names of array was a string, you'd just put parentheses and that would print out the length of a string. So for an array list, all you have to put is size. And yeah, that's about like the most useful methods. And yeah, so let's build this to see if it works. So let's build this. Process completed. We can run this just to see if that it works. So welcome, add names, remove a name, view name. So we're going to add, enter the name. I'll put Samuel. And would you like to repeat? Yeah. And then I'm going to put Bob. I'll put 3 names and then remove a name. And let's put Kathy. And would you like to repeat? Yes. And then let's go remove a name. Um, so see what it's doing here. Okay, let's add one more name. Frank 2. Okay, so what it's doing here is that it's only repeating the first item that you selected. So we want to go back and fix that. So let's try doing this. As long as it's equal to 1. And oh, okay. So what you want to do is what this was happening because choice was outside. So repeat only repeats the loop. It doesn't allow the user to select what they would like again. So what you want to do is just cut this and paste this inside the loop. So right there, and that should make it work. So let's do that again. Run file, add names, Samuel, yes, Bob, and then we had Kathy, if I'm not wrong. Kathy, and then to remove the name, I'm going to select 2, enter name to be removed. Let's remove Bob. So it prints out the array list after removing Bob, and then lastly for the final method, 3 is just printing out the array, and there it goes. So yeah, that's basically how you create an array list. It's pretty simple. Oh, and one more thing. For the array list, you have to import a package called java.util. And yeah, so in order to use it, you'll need to import this package. And for user input, you'll need terminal IO. And yeah, that's about it. So thanks for watching, and like and subscribe.